Allison. This is my kitty cat, Pharaoh. 2 years ago, I made a video called Going No Contact with My Narcissistic Mother. I was no contact for about a year, and I broke no contact, on Mother's Day last year, and so now I've been in contact for a year. And I thought that now would be a good time, since I've seen what it's like on both sides, to give you guys a little update and tell you guys why I broke no contact. And I do want to say a few things before jumping into the list I have of why I broke no contact. What's best for me isn't necessarily what's best for you. I'm continuing to do what's best for me as I did in the past, and that might change in the future. Relationships and ourselves, we're fluid, and we gotta continue to go with the flow. And so I hope that you respect me and my growth, as I respect you and I support you to do whatever is best for you. To show that my way is not the best way for everybody, I asked everyone on my channel to participate in a poll. And this poll asked what your relationship is with your narcissistic parent, if you have one. And I think it shows that there's quite a variance in what's best for us. Some people who are like, oh, can I have a relationship with this person? Okay, I think so. You know, they're in that little wiggle space. And for other people, they can't be in a relationship right now. And that's okay. It's also okay to break no contact. I'm in the minority, but you know, maybe, I don't know. I'm just gonna share why. The first reason why is that I am okay. I'm okay right now. I'm doing very well. I'm not in a place where I'm constantly triggered by this person, and that's why I can be in a relationship with them. If you can have someone in your life and be happy, then that's good. But if you can't have someone in your life and be happy, the two are mutually exclusive, you gotta choose your happiness and your health. Happiness is mental health over this relationship, at least for a while. There are other relationships in my life that it is mutually exclusive at the current time. Either be in a relationship or be happy. The other day, my roommates and I got a fire pit, and we were all outside enjoying the fire, but I had my phone, like, anger and like worry seeping into my heart from this relationship. And I was thinking to myself, like, when is this ever gonna end? You know, there's just constant things being needed from me and triggers on both ends of the relationship. And I'll tell ya, it's only gonna end when you decide it's time. So if you aren't happy in this relationship and there's no way around that, then I think space is necessary. And so I still stand by no contact. It was very beneficial for me during that year because I was, sorry, phone's on silent please, 1 second. Because I was so triggered by this person, and I was learning about all these things in my life and coming out of denial, coming out of the fog. And with all of the clarity that I was gaining, I was like, why is this the way it is? You know, I have this sense of what matters, you know, people matter. And the big perspective of life, like life matters and love matters, and why are we putting all this petty, self-centered stuff, drama, stupidness in the way of life, of what matters, of goodness? You know, why are we talking about our problems more than our blessings? Like, why? And it's still hard for me to make the switch to doing that. That's like different, but I was resentful about it as heck during that year of no contact, and you know, having space from that was really, really helpful. Got a little excited there. Working through resentment is very hard to do when you're in this fog of CPTSD, of this unhealthy, toxic relationship. I was very resentful about all the things that were coming to light, coming into focus, that I had been in denial of, and just like going through and being upset about, but then forgetting in order to have things be okay, only for them to happen again and again and again. I became very aware of them, and I was so mad about them, and they were affecting me on a level that I hadn't allowed myself to be affected by in a very long time. And so I think that no contact was great during that initial surge of resentment and triggers and change. It was a big wave of change. I liken CPTSD to FOG, fear, obligation, and guilt. These are all big drives for us as adult children. Obligation and guilt are more so unhealthy drives. Fear can be, but I'll talk about that after these two. So during no contact, I felt really obligated and guilty for not being who I had been in the family, for not playing my role. And my role was like peacemaker in whatever way I could be, by lifting the spirits, by listening, by not sharing my opinion, by standing up for whoever the underdog was, you know, which stinks because it's like, whose side am I on? I'm on everyone's side, you know, I just want everyone to be okay. But I wasn't on my side. And so during this time of no contact, I came out of obligation and guilt and feeling guilty for not doing all those things, and I stepped back onto my side, stayed in my lane, and I did what's best for me. And in that year, I did so much. I changed all these things in my life and really did what was best for me. You know, obligation and guilt were just thrown out the window. Fear is still something that is a fabric almost inextricable from my life. I'm working to, like a light switch, just switch to trust, and it's easier the more you practice it. But fear is this just omnipresent potence of omnipresent thing of like sensitivities and worries and concerns that I think comes from living in constant crisis mode all the time, from people who exacerbate problems and create problems out of nothing, and instead of focusing on blessings, focus on the problems and create problems in the world around them, in people. So it's constant crisis mode, and also fear insecurities that I have because people around you focus on problems within you rather than what's good in you and in us. I'm sorry. They point out your problems and exploit them. So a lot of insecurity is just like so present to me in my mind. You know, all these different fears are just so everywhere in my life. It's like hard to pinpoint what it is. It's just a thing that's happening. But a really big fear that people have expressed to me as a shared fear that we all have during this no contact thing, this dilemma, this thing, is the fear of losing our loved one during no contact. And in that case, I think fear is on a different side, the other side, on the same coin as love. And so I think fear and love flip-flop and drive everyone. So I think that that'll never go away, that being a drive for people. You can learn to more and more choose to let love lead you through your life than fear. But fear is just a thing that everyone experiences, animals included. So the fear of losing someone, it's potent, and we try to deny it and avoid thinking about that. But I think it's kind of good to live with mortality in sight. You know, all these little insecurities and fears, like at the end of the day, will they matter? And also living with mortality in sight, who's gonna be at your funeral if you were to pass away? Who matters in your life, and what do you want them to think about you? How do you want to have affected them and connected with them? Keep mortality in sight. And involving no contact, do you want to be a part of this person's life? Did an answer come to you deep down? Because maybe it's not best for you right now to be in contact, but maybe in the future it is, and maybe it's not. And I don't know, I hope, you know, I'm not triggering anyone with this whole entire video, but especially with this point. This is deep stuff, And there's like a fear of losing them, but also love. That's deep, deep, deep love. And you know, it's not obligation. Like society tells you to stand up, be loyal to your bloodline. And guilt, you know, that your own family did place on you. Like, you're not a good daughter. Like, you're never gonna take care of me when I'm old and dying. Like, I was told that. And I was like, oh God, you know? And maybe that's why I do have this fear of losing them, because it was brought to my attention. I don't think it's brainwashing. When I talk about this, like, I feel like it's really love. The fear of losing someone during no contact. And actually losing someone. If you've actually lost somebody, it cracks you open. Right? It's the opportunity to really crack you open. Imagine that you're like this bright light of love inside of yourself, and over it is this like shell that we have, maybe this survival shell, this denial, this, whoa, lots of things in life. Life's so complex. I'm getting a little philosophical here, but I think that losing someone, and even just the fear of losing someone, is a way to crack open that shell and let the true experience, the truest experience of love, recognizing life as precious and finite, and the fact that it being finite not as a scary thing, but making it more precious, like, and letting it, connection, be so important. You know what really matters? People matter. Letting that love out and really just like fill your life. That's a beautiful thing. And so, you know, this fear is something people have talked to me about. They're like, what do we do about it? And the answer is unique for you, as is going no contact and breaking no contact. What do we do? Why? This is a big drive for me, to have broken no contact. So, just gonna be honest and say that. You know, at the end of the day, it is important for me to be in my family member's life. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this point, but it's a big point. Something super beautiful, and I'm so grateful for, is that I feel like I'm finally in a place of clarity. Like, almost crystal friggin' clarity, especially relative to where I was 2 years ago. Oh God, like 5 years ago. Oh, it pains me to remember that time. And I know a big reason why I was in such fog is my family, and so that sucks. But a big thing that helped me move out of the fog was realizing that while having my mom not in my life was nice in a way and peaceful, there were still a lot of issues happening in my life. I was causing my own hardships, self-sabotaging, procrastinating because of perfectionism, and still raging and letting narcissistic fleas out and alcoholic fleas out, and having such shame responses and fear of abandonment. All of these, you know, adult child things, and then I was also resentful about them. So I was having my own, you know, assortment of fun that I was giving to myself. But also, my siblings were having a hell of a hard time in their lives. And I came to this understanding that, you know, it's different with siblings. This is not the understanding I came to, but I put up with things differently with my siblings because I had more compassion for them, because we're in the same generation. It is the same point that I was trying to make. I understand why they are the way they are. You know, I see it exactly because of A and B, mom and dad, and, you know, the dynamic C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, O, blah. You know, the whole, everything that goes into making a person, and the nurture and the nature. I saw it for what it was, and especially just the parental influences. But then I just let that spiral, and then I'm like, well, my parents are also the kids of their parents, duh. But they are the way they are because of their family dynamic, and my parents' parents are the way they are because of their parents, and it's just a whole generational tradition of dysfunction, of not living in alignment with health and happiness, and not putting what matters above and above this cycle. This is the case for my family and so many other families, yours, so many. I found compassion for the fact that it's not my mom's fault. It's not my sister's fault. It's not my dad's fault. It's not their parents' fault. It's no one's fault. It's not concentrated in this one person. Even if you disperse it through the whole family, even if I bring all of the responsibility into myself, it's not my fault. It's nobody's fault. Like, I found forgiveness. And then compassion, just infinite compassion for the whole situation. When I went no contact, I started working at a psychiatric hospital, like the same week. It was weird. While working there, I saw really bad things, like really sociopathically, unregrettably bad people, and people who had been through undeniably terrible, terrible things. And my main takeaway was having victim mentality just zapped from me. It put me into perspective. Not that I compare my life to other people's lives and I'm like, oh, they had it worse than me. I don't deserve. I'm not validated, you know? I don't deserve to have this massive struggle within myself. That's not what I mean, but I saw that relatively, like, okay, it made me question things in, I feel like, a very healthy, balanced manner. Like, is what I went through that bad? Okay, yeah, it's bad. Is it manageable? Yes, it's manageable. And also with compassion, it's sad. It's sad that people go through hard things, but that's just how life is. And we all have the option. No, we don't all have the option to heal from it. You know, some people are messed up so bad that they can't heal from it. But I realized, working at the psychiatric hospital, that there are those people. And then, you know, there's other people who are empowered to help themselves and to change and to choose to change and to choose to heal. And while that's a hard path, and, you know, narcissistic parents, they don't take that path. And it takes a strong-ass MF to go down that road. It's available to me. So victim mentality, like, it was hard. Things are hard. I'm not feeling great, but I think I can, and I really want to. And so, you know, victim mentality, just. Another thing with my family is that, from my perspective, it seems as though my mom affects my sisters the most. The sister affects this sister and is like the main cause of distress. And this sister affects me the most and is the main cause of stress. And so while there is a root, perhaps, of the problem that has, you know, a tree of roots for herself, for themselves, you know, it's different for everybody. Everyone has a different experience and a different massive trigger that they can't deal with, you know? Maybe not even that, just like different lessons to learn. And while for me it's okay to have a relationship with my mom, I used to be righteous about it. Like, I shouldn't be in contact with my mom because it affected my sisters in this way, you know, and because it affects the world in this way. You know, where does it end? It's different for everyone in the family. What your siblings are doing doesn't have to be what you do. What's best for each of you is probably different, as what's best for you is different than what's best for me. So I used to be like righteous, like I should not be in contact with her because she did this, but you know, she didn't. It happens. And how we are influenced it too, you know? Not that I want to put any blame on us, but like just our nature, like we react in different ways and we have different areas of growth and different values that we gotta stand up for because no one else is going to. So even if I stood up for my sister's values, that doesn't align with my own. And my own are to be in contact. You know, I've done a lot of research on personality typology. There's a lot of different kinds of people who have a lot of different values and different drives. It really is so unique for everyone. And what's so interesting is when I made the going no contact video, so many people were like, wow, it's like our parents were reading from the same script. Like, it's the exact same, almost exact same. This is the same, this is the same, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm thinking that this video is actually going to be more repulsive in an energetic way, not like attractive, like, oh my gosh, we're the same, but a more like, whoa, like, this is probably maybe different than a lot of people. I don't know, I bet you can relate to a lot of different things that I said, but perhaps not the whole message. I'm curious, I'm not sure. But it just goes to show how everything is conditional and everything is fluid and changing in our own little rivers of life, and just go with your flow. Not the flow of the world, go with your flow. I love that phrase. I kind of coined it. I think it's something that I created. I didn't hear it anywhere. I just came up with it. I think I came up with it in my What is Narcissism video, which I made, and I think ties into this conversation. So after this one, if you want to watch more, I recommend watching that. I'll link it in the info box below the video. Another thing that I want to say, that's another reason why I think I made this choice and why healing happened perhaps like suddenly for me. I don't know. I think, well, first of all, I think I'm pretty naturally resilient, and I think everyone is, you know, like plants. Like, we're designed to heal and overcome adversity, you know. This is a tangent, but I think I'm, first of all, like, just a resilient person, you know, maybe more so than a lot of people. Maybe that's because I was in a different role in the family, but maybe I chose that role. Who knows? This is a really deep conversation. But also, where was I going on this? Because I made this channel, and in making these videos I learned so much, and it also pushes me to share the most ascended, actualized truth that I can reach for, you know, that I can currently embrace, because I don't want to share some like petty, not fully understood, you know, low level energy stuff with you guys, with the world. Like, I really want to share the best that I can and be the best that I can, you know. I'm really reaching to be the best I can and to find the most ultimate truths and actualized ways, choices, paths, values that feel right for me and that could be universal, like that feel right on a very deep, collective, weird level. Not weird level, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've made this video. This is the third time I've made this video, and in each time I filmed it, I've learned so much, like, and that's happened with a lot of videos. Like, in each video I learn, and I wish that I could like remake it and add what I learned from editing the video and like everything that I learned since, but you know, this is just a learning curve, life, this journey. I'm happy to be sharing it with you guys. It means a lot to me. This is like one of the coolest things in my life. You're a part of it. Thank you. And thanks for letting me be part of your life. You're an agent of change for me, and I'm an agent of change, agents of growth and empowerment for each other. It's really beautiful. It really is. You know, I learn a lot through doing these videos. That's another reason. It's like this feels right, a right thing to share, even though it may be repulsive to some people. But I have just grown a lot in the past couple years. Wow. And it's still like taking a while to like show up as that, you know, grown version of myself. You know, there's slip-ups, it's not perfect, but all in all, you know, I'm spiraling upward and learning a lot, just learning so much and growing, and it's cool. And I bet that no contact, whatever you choose, you're on that journey too. That's what really matters. No contact or not, whatever. As long as you're growing and you're feeling okay and doing what you can to make it so that you can be happy, that's what matters.